So I do a lot of podcasts, and a question that always comes up in these podcasts is, what would you tell your 20-year-old self? And I didn't really think about it much. And this is where I'll come out with some kind of cocky little statement like, well, I'll tell them to stay off of the cheap whiskey, or, skinny jeans never work on any man, so avoid those. Just little flippant little things like that. And I never really think about it because, let's be serious, when are you ever going to go back to your 20-year-old self and chat with them? It may be nice, maybe annoying. I've got to admit, I don't think I'd want to meet my 20-year-old self. But then I was at an event recently, and it was a home service industry event. And there was this young lad that came up to me, which I swear must have been about 19, 20, 21 years old. And he started asking me questions. He started telling me about the dynamics and makeup of his family. And I suddenly thought to myself, this is me. This is me at the age of 20 at an event asking questions because he wants to know. And you could see the curiosity, you could see the hunger that he wanted more for himself. And he's looking around these other very successful people. And let's be serious, we look at other people as always way more successful. We never look at them as their problems, and everyone's got problems. But we're like, oh my God, I wish I could be that kind of person. That was this person in front of me. And I thought to myself, that's a mini me. I'm meeting me. And I suddenly realized that my flippant little comment was going to be disrespectful. And I spoke a little while ago about Mr. Tartan, and I said the successful people are there to answer questions. And here it was right in front of me. I was being asked a question, and I could not be a dick and not give him the answer that he needed. But I didn't have it. So I took his details, we arranged a Zoom call, and I jumped on a Zoom call with him because it was important to me that he got what he needed. And he quite simply said, I don't want to be on there for long. We weren't on there for long. But what were the three things that you would actually tell yourself at 20 that maybe I could benefit from? So I gave some thought, and I actually put it down to this. First of all, I class myself as an educated individual, but school had nothing to do with it. Seek education, even when it's ugly education. Now, they don't teach you at school how to open up a bank account, launch a company, file books, file returns, what's the best taxation strategy. No, why? Because the education system is built to build employees, not employers, not disruptors, okay? They want everyone to follow a system. If you tick that box, you can join the ranks. But quite simply now, we're like, there's got to be another answer. Why is that box the only answer? And they don't like it when you ask that question. So you've got to seek education, even the ugly education. And that ugly education is when shit goes south. When you're trying to build something and it goes wrong, how did it go wrong? My marketing campaign didn't work. Was it the copy? Was it the pictures? Was it the timing? You're the simplest of things, but lean into it. You don't make mistakes. You get educated. You don't fail, you become educated. Just maybe a little bit uglier. And those ugly education points are the ones that create the scars, but also the best lessons. As an entrepreneur, we're often like, yeah, I've got this, until you get a punch in the mouth. And then you realize, no, I didn't, but now I know how to put my guard up. So the education is important. Constantly seek it. Podcasts, YouTube, asking questions, reading books. Just make sure you get as much education as possible and then action it. And that's the key. Work on actually developing your own education from getting it wrong. That was the first thing that I actually came up with. The second one was relationship capital. I realized, and it's more important today, you are your relationships. You are the circle you're in. We all know those cliches, but you get those relationships by doing one simple thing: keep your word. If you say you can do it at Tuesday at 9 o'clock, make sure it's done Tuesday at 9 o'clock. If you say you can make it blue, make sure it's blue. If you say you can escalate, but no one wants to do that now. Oh, I can amplify this. Oh, I can do it. No one wants to turn around and be specific and say, I can get you 4 times this in this amount of time. Be that person. It'll make clarity and ease when you're building up relationships. And people want to be around there. You haven't got to be a billionaire, but if you're the person that keeps that word, they're the person you want to keep around. Relationship capital. If I lost everything tomorrow, my dogs, my family, my home, my motorbikes, if I had my relationships and I hadn't screwed them by doing something that created that loss, I could get everything back again. Okay, so relationship capital. Focus on the people that you are around and what do you bring to that system that can keep them in yours. Relationship capital is more important than anything. And here's the third thing that I would have told my 20-year-old self. Power is not in the bank or biceps, it's in your head. When you are focused, you can achieve anything. When you are focused on developing this, going for this, gaining this, if you've got a strong, powerful mindset, you can overcome any kind of inadequacies. And if you've got any inadequacies, or if you've got stuff that you can't do, hell, you jump on and you grab someone on Fiverr to fill that little piece in there. Dan Sullivan always says that if you focus too much on your weaknesses, you end up with really strong weaknesses. So understand what you're doing, understand where you're going, and the bank accounts and the bling and the cars and the watches and all of that kind of stuff, they don't come from you staring at it. They come from you actioning over here, and the action comes from when you see it here first. I see what I'm going to do, and then I go for it. I don't sit there on a freaking carpet and manifest with little incense candles in the back. Kind of a little bit against that shit. Action is what will create. And again, if it goes wrong, that's where you get that ugly education again. So you can't lose with action. The worst thing you can ever do is not to do anything. And will always be the case. Get going, then get good. But those are the three things I would actually focus on. I would focus on education, all levels of it. I would focus on relationship capital. Why do people want to have you in their circle, and why do you want them in yours? Understand that and bring stuff to the party so that they will keep you there. And thirdly, the power of the mindset of your biceps or bank account. The power of the mind. I know some people that have got really big bank accounts and they're really depressed. Okay? I know people that don't have a lot of money. Happiest little people in the planet, okay? So the mindset is where all the power and impact starts and is held. Those are the three things I'll tell my 20-year-old self. And if there's someone out there that's as much of a reprobate as I was when I'm 20, I hope they help you.